Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with Ready to Love Season 4, Episode 19. I'm not sure how long of a break we took. I thought it was only 1 week, but we jumped from Episode 6 to Episode 19, and so we're here, okay? And quiet as it's kept, it's just something about this season that's not giving the zhuzh that it should give. I just don't know exactly what's missing. Something is missing in this formula. I really am not getting what I should get. I don't know if it was just the episode and now I don't know. Charlie, maybe it's just me. Maybe y'all can put down in the comments if you feel the same way. But I just feel like this season is not giving what needs to be given. That's my opinion. If you are here for the first time, let me stop being rude, child. Welcome. If you are back for a second or third time, then welcome back. And you have not hit the subscribe button, but you keep coming back for the Ready to Love reviews, then I'm going to need you to stop right now. Stop what you're doing. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Child, let's get into it if we're going to get into it. All right, so y'all already know they come together in this restaurant. I don't know why they couldn't get a real lounge, but honey, I'm going to let that go, Tommy, okay? Don't think I ain't realized that they sitting in the middle of a restaurant, okay? When the man is in a lavish lounge, kicked back. Child, the audacity of it all. So anyway, the ladies meet in the ladies' lounge, and Tommy said, we're halfway through the process. Halfway through? Child, what in the conveyor belt season is going on here? Child, this is the fastest season I have ever seen. I feel like we've only watched. That's why y'all tried to skip to 19, trying to play Jedi mind tricks, trying to make us think we saw 19 episodes. No, we've seen 6, and one of them was a casting special. Child, y'all ain't fooling me. Anyway, so he lets them know, 2 ladies were eliminated. Y'all already know Stacy, aka Frack. She over at the house, and so is Tressa and her Jill Scott wig. But Tressa, don't worry about it, because we will get redemption for you on this episode. Just sit tight, girl. Don't worry, honey. What goes around comes back around. Hey, my baby. We got you, girl. Don't worry about it, honey. So then he tells them to close their eyes and envision who's their number one. So Vernicia over there, she's over there envisioning Joelle hanging out on Bourbon Street and eating beignets and drinking grenades. And then you have Amber, and she's envisioning kneeling down on that grass in her nice sweater dress, saying, "Today I am important, I am kind." Honey, whatever they were saying over there on the grass, okay? So KG is for Amber and Vernicia is for Joelle. And actually, I kind of like Amber and KG together. I wasn't too fond of it at first, but honey, it's doing something. So after seeing him on another date and her on another date, I think they mesh well together. Okay? So then he said, why y'all envisioning them? Scratch that. I want you to go on dates with people that you would not normally date. That's what I want y'all to do. And so, they're all looking around like, oh, okay. So then here go Chrysanthemum. This could be good. Maybe I would get different results than I'm normally getting. Maybe if you opened your mouth a little wider, you would speak a little different than you normally speak. Girl, loosen up a little bit. Loosen up your jaws a little bit, honey. Child, that Chrysanthemum be so tight-lipped. And definitely you need to date somebody else, because Ron is playing games. He over there cha-cha sliding with Alexis Dragonfly Jones. So you might need to do something other than what you've been doing. So, in the next scene, we see Ron and Fly, and they meet up. And, baby, he pulled up and swept her off her feet, literally. Do you hear me, honey? Picked her up and spun her little self around. I said, oh, she like that, child. Try to tell Jason her love language is quality time. Girl, your love language, physical touch. You love to be touched up and through, okay? So Ron says, he knew she didn't know how to play golf, so he just wanted to, do something a little freestyle a little bit. Okay, Ron, honey, but putt, child. We play that in 3 years old, child. Okay, but set yourself off. Then the shady producers zoomed down to Alexis's shoes. Girl, what in the crocodile Dundee is going on with these little boots? Girl, Alexis, now, I'm not gonna play with you. I wasn't gonna say nothing about the outfit because I was like, you know what? I be giving Alexis a hard time for 19 episodes, apparently, okay? But girl, them little boots, no ma'am, honey. And I think I saw Ron look down at your feet once or twice. Girl, get them boots out of here. Anyway, girl. So then they're playing, and Ron is teaching her how to play putt-putt. And, she's being frisky as usual because, she love to be rubbed down and touched on, child. So Then Alexis tells him, she said, I'm a woman of faith, and I was concerned that you being a heathen and all, honey, that I would rub off on you. And so then he was like, I partied in the streets and not the pew. Honey, I ain't gonna lie. Now, y'all know he didn't say that. But if you've been here before, I like to zhuzh it up. I'm a storyteller. That's what I do. So he didn't exactly say that. He did say that he used to be out there partying like a rock star. Okay. But then he decided to slow it on down. Okay. So she said, you give me real priestly king vibes. Okay. I'm not getting that from Ron. What I'm getting is real Mike Tyson vibes. I'm getting Donkey Kong meets Super Mario Brothers vibes. I don't know. I'm not getting priestly king, but maybe I'm not looking at the right thing. Okay. So she says she feels like he can lead her to water and he can make her drink. Okay, honey. So she feels like he's a leader. Okay, child. So Ron said, well, where are you in the process? She said, AJ is my normal type, but I want to get away from that. Now, not saying I don't like my normal type. I'm just trying to, do something a little different. She said, where are you? Because Chrysanthemum didn't know I was your number one. Child, oh my gosh. We should all take a shot every time Alexis says number one. And I guarantee you, we will be loose as a goose, okay, by the end of the episode. Because Alexis going to ask about number one over and over and over. It's like when your kids watch Sesame Street and they say, the number of the day is one. The number of the day is one. The number of the day is... Okay, girl. Child, Alexis, this is a dating show. You date several people to make it to the finish line. And then the two of you going on off into the sunset in your Crocodile Dundee boots, girl. Keep on asking this man and everybody around if you're their number one. Alexis, you are here to play a game. You and AJ, y'all are both here to play a game. Okay. So she said, because I'm just trying to figure out, do you want a trophy wife or you want somebody that you can build with? Okay, I didn't like that, Alexis. Now, Chrysanthemum might not open her mouth all the way when she get ready to talk, but I don't think it's your place to say that she's just a trophy wife. We don't know what she has to offer because she rarely ever talks, okay? And when she does, you can hardly understand her because she won't open her mouth up. But I said all that to say that you should let him decide, because I feel like by you saying those type of things, you're putting out a negative connotation about her. Now, granted, honey, she was over there with Stacey acting a fool last episode, and she very well could be just wanting to be a trophy wife, which I think she might want to be, but I don't think you should say it. That's all I'm saying. So then Ron up there spitting game, child, or at least he thinks so, and he tells Fly that she is going to help him evolve. He said, I feel like you're ahead, and I want to leave with my queen. Child, and then they hug, and baby, he hugged all over her. Child, that hug was everything. Now, I'm going to have to give it to you, Ron. I love a good hug. If you can give me a good hug, we in business. So then he carried her out on his back. Okay, Ron. Honey, Ron said, I'm going to show you what to do. All right, go on, carry on out. In the next scene, we see AJ and Amber. They go on a date. Child, poor Amber cannot go on a solid date that's not outside and valued at $5.99. Baby, these men gonna take Amber somewhere outside. Is that what she wrote on her thing? Love outside dates? Because you were on the grass over there for free $3.99 last week, and now you back over here with him, and he done bought something out of Starbucks or something for $5.99. Child, I'm just playing with y'all, honey, but I'm just saying, like, what kind of dates are these? So AJ said, he's saying this to us through the screen. He said, Amber's really attractive, but we just haven't talked. How convenient that you're talking now that it's time for elimination. Okay. So he asks, who's in your top? Here we go. Who's in your top 5? Who are your top friends on MySpace? And y'all remember it used to be a fight about them MySpace friends, honey. If you were not in the top 8, then that was an automatic, we're not friends anymore. Child, you were blocked, cussed out, and everything else. Why haven't I been in your top 8? Well, I had to move some people down. Oh, she made me mad, so now she ain't in my top 3. Honey, it was a whole thing with the MySpace friends. And I feel like they bringing it back, honey. Throwback Thursday on a Friday. So anyway, she says, well, do you, he asked, well, who's in your top? She said, I have a few in my top. Do you want to know? And he's like, yeah. She said, well, Chris and Ron are in my top. How is Ron in everybody's top? It's got to be something we're not seeing. We better be in for it at the reunion, because I am not seeing Ron being in everyone's top. Do y'all see the charisma coming through the screen, or is it just me? Because I don't see it. Anyway, AJ, listen. So he was like, well, I'm not even in the mix. She was like, okay. AJ, look, you just want everyone to like you. You don't care about being in her top, not one bit. Amber said, well, you're not approachable. You act like you look good, so you don't feel like you have to do any work. I am so happy you saw through him, Amber, because that is the truth. AJ sits back and hides behind that beard and that producer title or whatever it is and just feels like women are going to flock to him because of that James Harden beard. No, you actually need to have a personality and work for it. Child, Amber sees straight through you. I know that's right, Amber. So then he says, I should have invited you out earlier. Why? Why should you have invited her out earlier? I ain't think so. I ain't got an answer, huh? She was like, so yeah, I just match energies. And he was like, well, I should have invited you out so we can get to know each other. Child, you do not really care about how she feels at all. The only thing you care about is making it to the finish line. You pulling a Dietrich, honey. You don't care about her. All you care about is being in the top. Then he starts asking about Troy, talking about, well, Troy started at the top, then he quickly got down to 0. She said, well, it wasn't because of how he was working. I match energy. AJ said, okay, I'm going to hold you to that. Boy, you ain't going to look at Amber twice after this date. After y'all sitting, I don't know if this is a date. Looks like y'all just came to a park bench and had a seat. But if y'all want to call this a date, honey, I call this in passing. Oh, child, I seen him in passing today. A date is what Amber has later on with Joelle, okay? Child, scratch all that stuff AJ talking about, honey. Did the show pay for these drinks, honey? Because Kyra say you don't pay. I'm just saying, honey, you done sat down with these free drinks and now you talking, child. Okay. Then he said, I took a lot of licks on the date, but, I got to put in work because I've been seeing a lot of number ones go down to the last spot. See, that's what I'm saying. Just trying to stick around. It's funny how men get interested around elimination time. Like I said, a game of Survivor. Child, you ain't a bit more interested in Amber than the man in the moon, child. You could care less what she talking about. Over on the next scene, we see Chrysanthemum, and she goes on a date with KG. And I was like, oh, okay, let's see how this gonna go. Okay, because she said she needed a backup plan. Cause I'm not somebody's number one. Oh my God, this episode should have been called "Who's Your Number One?" That's what it should have been called because that's all we're hearing over and over and over. So she said, Chris interests me because he's so calm and he could be the calm to my storm. Honey, I don't think so because I don't know what storm you're talking about. I know you got like a little bit of a sassy personality, but you kind of fall flat. Like, it's like Chris doesn't really say much and she kind of gets lost. I don't know what it is, but she kind of gets lost in the sauce a little bit. So he said, she set up this date and I was shocked because the times that I did try to pay her any attention, honey, she paid me dust. So I'm just trying to figure out, but here we are. Well, today is no different, KG, okay? Because Tommy made her do it, okay? But you look nice, though, child. Today is no different. Chrysanthemum has you here, or as Ron would say, Chrysanthemum has you here under false pretenses, okay? So don't get too comfortable. So he starts asking her about her life. She said, I grew up in Italy, but I didn't know my dad, and her mom just wanted an Italian baby. I wish she stopped saying that. Oh my God. Okay. Anyway, she said, I just met him like 7 years ago. And Chris says, wow, my dad denied me. He would pop in and out of my life. And then one day I got a call that he passed away. Child, Chris gonna have a dad story if he don't do nothing else. Remember when he was sitting down with Amber and she's told about how she was adopted? And he said, wow, that's kind of like my story. My papa was a Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. KG, gone, honey. And now she talking about she just met her daddy. And he's saying my daddy denied me. So, KG, child, I'm glad y'all getting more in depth. But I would like for you to just be able to carry the conversation instead of these awkward transitions that you do. It's weird. So, anyway, Chrysanthemum says, my mom wasn't very affectionate, so I'm not either. So, KG sat back like, what? KG... KG so animated, child. KG sat back like she was not affectionate. What you say? No, she wasn't affectionate. He was like, okay, so how does that affect your relationships? And she's like, well, I don't do relationships. What, Chrysanthemum, what are you doing on this show if you do not do relationships? See, y'all be confusing me so, honey, but I guess. So then KG said, can I read your energy? I feel like, as far as I'm concerned, you're like 70-30 on me. Child, KG said I gave myself over half. If you don't think highly of me, I'm going to think highly of myself. I know that's right, KG, honey, because if you don't think you look good and you are good, nobody else will. Child, KG said I'm 70 out of 30. Do you know how close 70 is to 100? But she agreed. She was like, yeah, it's like he's there, but he's just not all the way there. Okay, child. So KG basically said, you know what? I feel like Amber is it for me. And I feel the same way, KG. Amber is your person. Joelle comes in and meets Amber. Yes, body. Honey, Amber is a beautiful lady. Amber came in looking like a grown woman. Child came in with her little jumper on, came in, had a little seat, got ready for a grown man date. Okay. So they start talking. And well, when he first came in, he said, you mind if I give you a kiss? Okay, because I thought he was going to come in with some Troy kisses. Because, Troy just lean in and put his COVID kisses on anybody. But at least he asked, and she, obliged. She said, yeah, you can give me a kiss on the cheek, and I will decide if I want to give you a kiss back. Okay? So they start talking, and she asked him if he wants to be married again. He said, yeah, my wife dying was hard for me, and I wanted to love again, and I knew I could. I knew I had that feeling of wanting companionship. And then he asked her how she felt about being with an older man because he's 11 years older than her and their mom is gone. She said, you know what? I wouldn't want to replace their mom. That's number one. But I do have a nurturing side and I love kids. Okay, I like that answer, Amber, because it seems like now, what I was confused about is when you asked him about marriage, because when you were over there with KG, you said marriage didn't really matter. You could take it or leave it. But now that you're here over with Joelle, the first thing you ask is about marriage. So I was a little bit confused about that, but I do like your answer about not wanting to replace their mom. And I think he appreciated that answer as well. So Joelle said, you ain't going to catch me running behind no 31-year-old. But Amber is different. I know that's right. And I like the fact that he said, even though 31 is grown, he's a 41-year-old man. He's established. He's been married before. He's loved. He's lost. And he has 2 kids. So for him, he's thinking of it on a larger scale. I at first you would look at Joelle and just assume he would go for a Chrysanthemum or a Stacy or something like that. But he is actually looking for someone that has a little bit of substance from what I can tell so far. Okay. But I actually like the fact that he said that we wouldn't catch him running after a 31-year-old. That says something about him and I appreciated it. So he tells her, his wife was 6 years younger than he was. And he feels like that Amber has her stuff together, right? So he feeds her a little dessert. Honey, y'all not eating off the same fork during COVID, are you? Honey, I was looking at that. I'm like, wait a minute, did he eat off that fork? But I don't think he did. Now, y'all put down in the comments below if y'all think they ate off the same fork, child. That just, child, my nerves get so bad now that COVID is around, honey. I will spray you down with a bottle of Lysol, okay? So then he said, I'm going to put a stamp on my date with Amber. Although I like Vernicia as well. Both of them fine. I'm going to put a little stamp on my date with Amber. I'm like, oh, okay, honey. Amber won him over a little bit. And I think he won Amber over as well. So Amber said, this was a very romantic date. Yes, honey, because it's a grown man date. Child, no parks, no Starbucks drinks, honey. Sucking up all the fresh air. Child, no kneeling on the grass in your good sweater dress. No, this is an actual date. This is what I wanted to see. Like, I want to see them actually interacting, actually talking about things, communicating, connecting. Like, this was a date. Okay, Joelle, honey, I'm watching you, child. Then she said, they stood up and she gave him a kiss on the cheek, right? She's like, oh, I feel so guilty for kissing him on the cheek. Child, don't. Y'all are here to date. It's just the cheek. He'll be fine. Over at the aquarium, we see Liz, and she's getting ready for her date with Jason. Honey, Liz knows she fine, ain't she? She got kind of like I don't know, it's like an old woman type of vibe about her, though. It's like she has a young body, but she just reads older. Especially like the way she talks sometimes. So Liz is showing more of that southern thickness, okay? Shrimp and grits and waffles, honey. Child, chicken and waffles, all that we do up and through the great state of Texas. So Jason comes in drooling because, honey, ever since he saw her at that masquerade ball, it's been on. So Jason said, after the masquerade ball, there was some interest. I'm sure it was. So Jason said, is there anything you want to know about me? She said, well, what do you feel about sex? Liz comes straight on out with it. What do you feel about sex? He said, oh, that's a good question. Okay, answer it then, honey. He said, if celibacy and abstinence is your thing, I support you. It's going to be hard. And child, he looked at her a few times. He said, real hard. Honey, it sure is going to be hard. Every time you rub up against Liz and all that body she got, it's going to be real hard. And I ain't talking about the movement, honey. I'm talking about something else. Liz going to be like, are those your keys or are you just happy to see me? Child, because Jason seemed like a little horn dog. She said, I want marriage and this is why I'm doing this process. And he said, yeah, me too. She said, I'm 40 and you're 36. So how do you feel about dating an older woman? Liz, y'all could have potentially been in high school together, child. You are not that much older than him, okay? Stop acting like you 90 and he's 16. Child, you're 40 and he's 36. You're very close in age. It's okay. It's okay, child. Pipe down. He said, shoot, I'm fine with it. You look younger than me, woman. Okay, y'all might make a match because she says stuff like that too. Child, y'all might be all right. He was so nervous, child, just saying any old thing. So then they get on the Ferris wheel and Jason is talking about, oh, it's so beautiful up here. And then he leans in and steals a kiss. Child, didn't she just tell you no Hello Kitty and then you start with the kisses? Child, don't be kissing her, making her feel things she don't need to feel. And this, I think she said, I appreciated it too. I think she said something like that. Child, I didn't know what she was saying up there in the friendly skies. Honey, I had no idea. Then she says, I didn't expect my first kiss to be with Jason. He stole it. It don't count. It don't count, honey. If you didn't want it or you didn't initiate it, it don't count, child. There's still a chance. But she said, I'm feeling feelings and I'm feeling that he's feeling feelings for me. Well, honey, I'm feeling like y'all two might be a match, but then again, he seems to be only interested in your outer appearance. And the thing that gets me about Jason is, why were you not initially attracted to Liz? Because when she first got there, before her hair was straightened, okay, when she had the curly hair and she was sitting on the steps singing the hymnals with David, you really didn't look her way. But now that she straightened her hair, putting on more form-fitting clothing, she's left the capes at the house. Now all of a sudden you got time. It's something about it that I just don't like. So Jason said, he believes that in their first date, Liz showed him a side that she hasn't shown any other man. She didn't get a chance to. And as they're cleaning up, he steals another kiss. Jason, stop putting your mouth on this lady, child. And Liz, you're going to have to learn to pipe up. Because I was uncomfortable just watching. I don't like when people get into my personal space. Like, we've had a half a date. I don't want you kissing on me every 5 minutes. That he was like treating her as if they were already in a relationship. I don't know. It just was something about it I didn't like. So Liz says, I just didn't expect that, honey. Child, Liz was like, my communication with him really grew, but I still like David. Child, listen, Jason is not going to last with this celibacy. He ain't going to last at all. He going to try to coerce you into doing something that you are not ready for, which you kind of should be ready for, because, girl, 40, honey, you better see what's going on before you get in a relationship and a marriage and be sitting up there with a man who can't put it down. No, thank you. No, ma'am, honey. I need to test the goods first. I got to know what's going on. So Kyra pulls up on AJ. AJ had flowers ready and a nice dinner. Let me tell y'all, Tony's is a very nice restaurant in Houston. AJ, let me find out you done went to Tommy and asked him to hold a little something. He went to him, look, let me hold something. I got to make sure I make a good impression on Kyra tonight, okay? So she tells him that she had a good date. That she had a good angel and a bad angel on her shoulders. And he was like, ooh, you squeezing my hand. She was like, but I just feel like you're a little bit of a wild card. So, they're talking, things are progressing, and then they get their food. And that Kyra is going to talk with a mouthful of food if she don't do nothing else, honey. And so she's like, let's play Never Have I Ever. Kyra, wait until you're done. Just wait until you're done eating, girl. So they said, never have I ever cheated. Both of them drank. Okay, well, then y'all might be a match, child, because if y'all both cheated, then you're fine. Never have I ever been in love. They both drank. Then she said, well, did you communicate what you needed to the person you were with? Well, did you communicate? Because, you saying you cheated as well. I don't care if it is high school. Did you communicate? Girl, so anyway, so they started talking. And he was saying that he doesn't really trust easily. And she said, well, it sounds like we're having a breakdown if there's not an understanding. I did feel like I effectively communicated. I don't know if it came across that way, but I actually did try. So I'm not sure exactly how it came out. So then she started going on and on about if he was communicating to a person who was not understanding what he was saying, then basically it was just a waste of time. And he was saying that he didn't feel that way. And she was a bit confused. So she said, you know what, when I'm talking to AJ, our communication is just off. Something is not clicking. Child, you keep thinking about the fact that he ain't paying for this food that y'all eating and you might have to dine and dash. That's what's going on, child. I'm just playing, but y'all know I'm not going to let that go at the fact that he did not pay for that check, honey. She should have never told me that, honey. I'm the wrong one to tell some stuff like that too. But she said she feels like their communication is off. I feel like you and AJ are just two people that will probably get together and have sex. I can't see y'all having a relationship. He's here for a good time, not a long time. I'm just saying. So then she tells him, when they talk, she feels like their communication and their convo isn't connecting. He said, well, growing up with a single mom and being the oldest, I was kind of a loner. I walk to the beat of my own drum, and sometimes that's to my detriment. So, he asked her, well, where am I on the totem pole? She said, well, you've been in my top 3 since the beginning. Okay, so did you tell us all that story so you can keep the other women at bay? Because the top 3 since the beginning, but you and your friends gave him a whole nickname? Kyra, you're a confusing child. So she said she loved the date. They had lobster, steak, and shrimp. Honey, thank you, honey. We appreciate a nice meal. Over on this day, we see Vernicia and Dietrich. Okay, they go out. He said he sees that she's really there for love. Okay, so he comes in, sits down. They start eating, but something is missing about Dietrich. It's like I don't know what it is. He doesn't appear to be all there. It's like when he's talking, something is not clicking all the way. You know how when you go outside, if you left your lights on all night in the car and you try to turn your key and the battery won't turn over and you hear but you don't hear and the car starts? That's what's happening with Dietrich upstairs. The battery and the lights have been left on all night. So when you go outside to start it up, it's not turning. The engine won't turn. Okay. And that's what I get when I see him talking, honey. And plus I don't trust nothing you say because of the way you did Tressa. Okay. So they start talking about Vernicia, and he was asking her, what is she doing? She was like, Bible study. And then I got to go to choir practice. I got to do this, that, and the third. He was like, well, do you have time for dating? She's like, look, you make time for what you want. And so then he says, in public, me and Vernicia have a spark. Honey, I didn't see nothing igniting. Not nothing. Okay, I'm just saying nothing. So he was like, I would choose her if I had to pick right now. Well, you don't have nothing else to choose from. So, of course, you would choose her. I haven't seen you talk to anybody else. So anyway, so he was like, do you have any expectations? She said, I expect a man to lead. I expect him to be a man. So he said, there are many levels to being a man. He said, for some, it's like paying all the bills, washing, cleaning, cooking. Red flag. He don't want no responsibility. When he said that, I would have politely ended the date, because the thing is this. No, I don't want a man to just, have me at home and he does everything and carry the burden all day long, every day. But at the same time, I need to know that you're capable of doing so. And immediately he came in with like, well, what's the level of being a man? You want me to take care of all the bills? You want me to, no, thank you. He doesn't want any responsibility. I'm good on that. So she said, I've been on my own since I was 17. I don't expect you to pay all the bills, but I do want my man to take some slack off me. You know what? That's sad. And I wonder why, as Black women, we don't expect a man to provide for us. We should not have to feel like we have to carry it all in a relationship with a man. I saw a meme on Instagram and it said, if a woman pays $1,200 a month in bills, she doesn't want to text saying, what you doing? And if a woman is in a relationship and she's still struggling to pay her bills, then she's single. And I agree with both. Because this is the thing. If $1,200 in bills is they're just my bills, not even my mortgage and or rent, I don't want you texting me every day what you doing. And Dietrich seemed like he gonna be what you doing you to death. Okay. And on top of that, if I'm in a relationship, I don't feel like I should have to fill my own gas tank up. I don't feel like I should have to do things that I feel like my man should do for me. And I think we are so conditioned to just be like, well, it's okay. I've been taking care of myself. I'm good. I just want you to do a little something. No, I want you to provide for me. And I think in no uncertain terms, last season, Nia was trying to say the same to KG, but she didn't articulate her thought properly, honey. And she came off rude, okay? So he said, do you see that in me? No. Okay. She was like, I'm just asking, I'm trying to find out now. So then he starts telling her she's tough. She said, look, I'm zero tolerance. I just don't want people running all over me. Well, that's tough. Child, Dietrich just wants somebody to lay down and allow his foolishness. Child, he's probably lazy, unmotivated, and everything else. Nope, no thank you, Dietrich. Goodbye, honey. Child, then he started talking about, you make me nervous. I don't even want to eat no more, but I will walk you to your car. No thank you. Boy gone, honey. I'm good. All the ladies show up to the ladies' lounge. Tommy comes in shucking and jiving, looking for a thunderous applause. Because, honey, y'all know Tommy going to come in walking sideways and all kind of stuff. So Alexis talked about her day with Ron. And, baby, when I say Chrysanthemum was burning up, child, when she talked about Ron, Chrysanthemum wanted to lose her mind. Chris said, I feel like I'm in his top, so I don't care what she talking about. Well, you can feel it all day long, but he's verbalizing to her that she is his number one because, she asks every 5 minutes. And according to him, then she's his number one. Okay. So then Amber talked about her and her date and how she kissed Joelle. Girl, that was a cheek kiss. You're acting like, I didn't really like that. I didn't appreciate that, Amber. That was some slick stuff. I didn't really like that because you brought it to the girls as though you and him were slobbering each other down in the car and y'all couldn't keep your hands off of each other. No, it was an innocent enough cheek kiss that he asked permission for. And then in turn, you gave him a cheek kiss back. Girl, cut it out. So, Vernicia was looking at her with the side eye like, what? And Vernicia was like, I don't really appreciate that. I really thought I had something with Joelle. Child, she ain't hitting on nothing, honey. It was a cheek kiss. So then Kyra said she went on one of the most romantic dates ever. Nephew Tommy said, did he pay for it? No, he didn't. It was compliments of own, honey. He ain't rent out no whole private room at Tony's. Child gone. So she said, I like AJ, but Jason handles me with care. And I just feel like AJ be rubbing and feeling on everybody and flirting with everybody. So I'm just not too sure. So then Liz said her day was great and she got a kiss. And it was a nice peck. Baby, Kyra was hot. Kyra, you don't care nothing about Jason. All of y'all crazy. You don't care nothing about Jason. So I don't know why you looking crazy. Because when he was telling you about his depression, you act like you couldn't be bothered. Girl, gone, honey. So then Vernicia said she went to the taste bar. And notice she didn't say who she went on a date with. She said, I went to the taste bar. And he said, so how was your date? She said the food was good. Honey, I know that's right, honey, because other than that, nothing. Okay? So, they're all talking about how Dietrich was in their bottom, right? So she was like, he said he was scared of me, and I'm not for that. I need a man who's going to be a man. All of a sudden, everybody's coming out like, yeah, he's in my bottom too. Or I don't really feel a spark with him. And then Liz was like, I definitely don't feel a spark with him. All of a sudden, Nephew Tommy just yelled out, Chrysanthemum. Child, I think they forgot she was there. Now that Stacy got, child. They was trying to eliminate Dietrich right at the table, child. Forgot Chrysanthemum was even there. Oh, Chris, honey, you're going to have to pipe up. So she talks about their date and she says that there's no romantic connection between her and KG. So y'all know that, baby, Amber was looking like, child, good. Because I don't want you to have no connection with my man. So she said, she feels like AJ is just playing the game. So this is Amber, because after they got through going in on KG, Amber was like, let me tell you how I feel. She said, I feel like AJ is just playing the game. He's just charming to stick around. He's just saying what he thinks we want to hear so that he doesn't go home. And I agree. That's exactly what he's doing. So Kyra said, girl, wait a minute. Hold on. What the? Yes, Kyra, honey. That's how they feel. So Amber said, I'll let y'all speak on KG. So let me finish speaking. Child, not the two attorneys arguing. Y'all meet me in my chambers so we can hash this out. Not they fighting. So she said, I don't feel like he's trying. I feel like he knows he looks good and he knows his good looks will carry him on through. And then Liz says, yeah, he needs to grow up. Then here go Alexis. After listening to everything, yeah, I put my stamp on it with AJ. Alexis, hush, girl. Anyway. So then Alexis said that she wasn't feeling AJ either. Kyra said, oh, all y'all? Oh, really? Child, looks like El Cheapo is on the El chopping block. Okay. Dietrich goes to meet with Kyra. AJ goes to meet with Alexis. So she tells him that she hasn't heard from him. He's like, I ain't heard from you. You're a hard woman to catch up with. I hate when men say that because that's AKA I'm lying and I ain't want to be found and I ain't been saying nothing to you. So I'm just going to say you're a hard person to catch up with. Child gone. Anyway. But before she can finish, he starts sitting her on his lap. See, he knows the way to get to Alexis because he knows she a little hot mama. So you're like, let me just sit her on my lap and calm her down a little bit. Child, this finesse king. And just like Amber said, that's exactly what he did. Charming just so he can stick around. But if the decision had been made already, that wouldn't have even mattered. Okay. So Kyra is over there talking to Dietrich. I don't know what they're talking about, but Dietrich looking crazy. And so then he was like, I get a little shy about opening up during this process. So Kyra was like, look, you need to get it together. We have decided you're not ready to love. Bye, Chef Homeboy RD, honey. Bye-bye. Honey, you should have treated Tressa better. That's your karma. We will see you on the flip side. And then AJ is over there talking to Alexis. And so Alexis says, we just really feel like you're flirting with everybody and you're giving everybody the same sexual vibes. And I mean, but at the same time, but mind you, she's still sitting on his lap. Finally, she gathers her thoughts, okay, because he had got all confused. She gathers her thoughts, sits in her own separate seat, and she lets him know that we feel like you're still ready to love. Child, he started wiping his eyes like he crying. Child, if you don't wipe up those alligator tears, a narcissist in the making. Child, this was a mess. All I can say is I don't know who belongs together and who doesn't. I'm just trying to get through it. Good thing we on episode 19. Child, y'all comment down below and tell me how you felt about this episode. What do you think of the couples? How do you think things are panning out? Y'all let me know. We will talk about it. I will see y'all on the flip side. As always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.